Hi, I'm developing a 4 game. It's still in an extremely early stage, and I'm not an artist, so you won't see all the flashy stuff. But I think that the process of developing a 4X game is interesting enough to keep you watching. So, what type of 4X game am I actually making? Well, to put it in the simplest terms, I want to make an unholy abomination of Crusader Kings 2 and Stellaris, with some sprinkles of more advanced political simulation. Well, what does that actually translate to? Glad you asked that myself. You will play the role of a leader on a bumfuck nowhere station in the solar system. It will start with your faction taking over, which could happen in numerous ways. For example, if you're a typical political faction, that would just mean winning elections. But if you're a genocidal warlord, well, let's just say that you'll have to patch up a few gun holes in your new office. Well, now the station's fate is up to you. Will you develop strong connections within your faction, be seen as a great leader, and push forward your station's economy so far that eventually you'll be able to rival Earth? Or will you fail to contain the popular uprisings, run out of goodwill with the people in your faction, and eventually get backstabbed by your own assistant? Okay, if you play strategy games, that sounds hot as fuck. Well, at least it sounds hot as fuck to me. But the question is, how feasible it is for me to develop this game? Well, over the years I've seen less successes with this type of undertaking than I have finished games of Stellaris. So, I would say that my odds are not stellar. Kill me. Okay, let's be for real for a moment. I had the idea for this game for over a year, but ideas are worthless. So, I started scaling down the scope so much so that I should be able to finish it within a reasonable time frame. I already had a full start like half a year ago, where I was at a point where like 60% of the game systems were developed, but life happened and the scope was a little overwhelming because I hadn't trimmed it down at the time yet. But half a year later, with a boatload more experience, I think I'm ready to take it on. I'm at a point where every single system that I will want in the finished game is accounted for in my design documents, which, to be fair, there are a lot of, but I already know from experience that programming the systems won't be the most difficult thing. I've been programming since 13, and I'm doing an economics undergrad, so I find implementing systems a lot of fun. So from what I've gathered, I'm pretty sure that my weak point will be implementing the actual content for the game, which is part why I'm doing these videos, because I'm hoping to slowly build a community which might be able to help me create content for the game. But that's still far away because, well, first things first, I need to finish implementing the actual systems. I've started properly though, and everything I implemented, barring only the NPC interactions, is easily modifiable by anyone that reads the instructions that will come in the future. My data files are not quite as nice as those of Stellaris, but they're not that far behind either. So, now that I have the basics out on the table, I'll say a little bit about how these videos will look. I'll publish them every other week, showing the progress I've made over that time, and will slowly build up to a vertical slice that I will publish for all of you to play. I intend to release it somewhere in August, preferably in the middle of it, but realistically probably by the end. So in about 3 months, you can expect a playable, bare-bones experience. The project I'm showing you on the screen took me about 2 weeks to get to this point. I started it on the last of April, but well, I didn't work every single day from there on out. It might seem like I'm talking about the logistics side of things a lot, but I've watched so many indies crash and burn while attempting to develop something that would fit the same niche as Paradox games. Meaning, I really want to ensure that I'm able to finish this, because fuck money, fuck recognition, fuck all that shit. I really just want to play a good-ass strategy game, and while I have a lot of respect for developers at Paradox, I really hate their owners. I want this channel to be strictly about development, so I'm just gonna leave it there. So, that's about it for today. Hope you found it interesting. And if you want to follow the project, hit subscribe. In 2 weeks, I will get into some more meat and discuss a few of the mechanics I have in mind for the game. Oh, and as an off note, eventually I intend to start a Patreon to be able to fund graphics for the game, but that's still some time away. Putting out a link now would be too much hubris for one person to handle. Well, that's about it. So, see you next time.